Hey, what's up, yo? It's Noku coming at you with a new comic haul. First, as always, I want to thank everyone who's taken their time to watch my video and post a comment. So I'm just going to get started. I'm still trying to get through some of these books that I have laying around the office, but I went to a recent local con um, 2 weekends ago, and I went to it the first time last year and decided to go again this year, mainly because I knew probably who the vendors were going to be, and and it's also cheap admission. The admission's less than $10. Um, and I mean, I go in for the comics and then I leave. They have cosplay and Tony Isabella uh, is was a guest of honor. He's the creator of Black Lightning. Used to write Justice Machine. It's got a number of published works that's fairly famous. He lives in the area in near Cleveland, so he was a guest of honor. Um, but anyway, let's just start on these books. So, um, all of the books I'm about to show you, for the most part, were $1 each. I went to this one vendor. These guys, I've been to them multiple times. They sell comics mainly at shows as well as in their house. They have a garage sale once or twice a year. The two of them combine a table at local cons, but when they have the garage sales, they live about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 blocks apart, and they coordinate their sales to have comic sales on the same weekend. So these were a buck piece, and they're not terribly expensive books, but this is Batman 10 Nights of the Beast, issue number 417. These were in high grade near mint, so I bought them both. Anytime I see this, for those who don't know, is the first appearance of KGG Beast, um, who's the guy that ended up shooting Nightwing back in the current Nightwing series. So he had that, and I have this already. And for $1 a piece, it's a good deal. But he had the whole series, and it was all in near mint condition. And they're great mics that covers the series itself is a decent read. Um, Jim Starlin writing, and each book is probably worth maybe $4 or $5 a piece. But can, if you look online, a set of the four will go for easily $25. Um, I recently bought another set of four at the toy shop in my area, and I was having to pay $12 for it. So to get a set for $4 each, I wasn't going to pass that up. This was probably, there weren't really a lot of stealth buys there. The guys, they, they know books, and but they're not highly priced. They're pretty cheap. Uh, so in some instances, a stealth buy, because I still found these in their dollar bin, but they had a stack of them that were in their $5 bin. So I think maybe they missed them. But this is Suicide Squad number 23, the first appearance of Oracle. I paid $1 for that. This one is probably in VF Plus condition. I'm pretty strict on grading, and it might grade at near mint minus, but there's like, you can't see it on the front, but on the back there's like 2 or 3 spine ticks, but it doesn't break color. But because of the spine ticks that are easily visible on the back, because of the back cover, you can tell I graded it as a VF plus. But they had 3 copies, and so I picked them all up for $1 a piece. And they go for a good $15, maybe high as 25 a piece. So for $3 for 3 issues, that was probably the a semi light stealth buy. Now, if you've been to their table multiple times and bought books, they kind of, even though it's supposed to be $1 a book and they have $2 books, a few cover price books, they have a wall and some higher price books. But they also have $5 bin books, which for the most part, I think they're also reasonably priced. But they cut you a deal. So like I had $101 books, and I had the following books I'm about to show you that were $5 a piece, which I thought even for $5 it was a pretty good deal. But the guy, when you tell him what you have, he basically said, "Okay, just give me $100 for the $100 books," and then he gave me all of these Falling books for free. So I thought that was a great deal. This is Aquaman number 49 from the first series, Volume 1. 15 cent. What is this? This is early bronze comic. I'd have to look at the year. I can't remember if this was before 70 or after 70, but it's probably early bronze. And I mean, this book is sharp. And he had a few other early bronze comics. And the only reason why I picked this up because it's an all yellow cover. It's a decent cover of Aquaman. And it was in such high grade. I mean, the staples are sharp. It looks really nice in Mylar. But, I mean, it looked nice in just a poly bag. So I was like, oh, for $5, I'd buy it, which eventually I got it for free, which makes it even better. But, it's probably a $20 book, right? Particularly in that condition. He had part 4 of Detective McFarlane. This was in high grade near mint condition. I'm pretty sure I have this already, but there's no spine ticks at all. This book is easily a $15 book, and I figured for this one, he didn't have the entire series. He was missing like part 1 and maybe part 3, but he had multiple issues of part 4 and part 2, but they weren't in high grade. And so since I was pretty sure I had them already, but this one was in high grade near mint, I thought I'd pick it up for $5, which again, I got it for free. I got this here, Amazing Spider-Man 168. I'm pretty sure I did not have this book, the first appearance of Will o' the Wisp. And this is also in high grade. He had a number of early, or actually late bronze, Amazing Spider-Man, but this one was probably in the highest grade, and therefore I picked it up. Again, thinking I was going to pay $5, but I got it for free. This book here this is Batman 241, a classic Neil Adams cover. Jim Aparo did the interiors. He had this for $5. Now, it was not in high grade. I would say it's probably good or maybe VG. And that's mainly because there's this one crease right there that breaks color, right? And then there's the corner crease there. But other than that, the book is in pretty sharp condition. There's a little off-white pages. There's a little something on the M right there, which you can see. And so I really got it for the cover. And, it was $5. I thought it was going to be $5. Again, he gave it to me for free. And, probably in this condition, good or VG. It's intact, complete. It was actually pretty clean on the back, too. I thought for $5, I'd be willing to pay $5 for that cover. But to get it for free was awesome. Now, the next book I got Also, this was free. It was in that stack. Detective Comics 469, the first appearance of Dr. Phosphorus. Now, in the polybag, I didn't take it out, but I knew this was, mid Bronze Age issue, first appearance of Dr. Phosphorus. Um, it looked pretty sharp, right? The corners are sharp. There's really no spine ticks. Maybe one right there. And so for $5, I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy that. Uh, but when I got it home, it had a little moisture damage on the back that you can't really tell on the front, and sometimes you can tell on the when you look at the top, but I couldn't tell. I didn't take it out because even for $5, I thought that was a decent deal. Um, but again, I got it for free, and it's definitely pressable. I mean, you could press this out, and this would be an easy, VF plus. So to get that, even if I would have paid $5, I think that was a good deal. He had a second part of that series of issue 470, which was in VF plus. This one did not have any water damage. I mean, it's pretty sharp. Very nice cover. It's complete. And it looks great in Mylar. So, I didn't buy these to flip or anything. And this is the second appearance of Dr. Phosphorus. I got them because of the cover, right? And, these aren't highly valuable books in the Batman titles, but first appearance of Dr. Phosphorus, if I was paying the $5 a piece, I still would have paid it. But to even get it for free was great. So I got this Detective 855. I just think the J.H. Williams covers on this run with Batwoman in Detective Comics was great. This is the second appearance of Alice right here. She's this villain who I think has a lot of potential. Her first appearance is in 854. So this is, for $1, it's probably worth probably $1 to be honest. But you can pair it with 854 if I find another copy of 854. I have this in my own collection. I have multiple copies of this one here, actually. I'm looking for 854, but, it's always, nowadays you're not going to find it in a dollar bin unless you really look, a lot of times it's plucked out of the dollar bins. But if I find some, I'll probably pair them together and try to sell them. I've been picking up these. I've been trying to get the entire collection. There's 13 issues of the Just Imagine Stan Lee, and mainly for the back cover. All the back covers were done, as a lot of you know, by Adam Hughes, and he is my favorite cover artist. And so that's a Green Lantern. This is probably my third copy of it. It's in near mint. I try to, because they're in this prestige one-shot format, it's real easy to get spine ticks in them. So if I can find it in their mint, I will pick it up for $1. This was a $6 cover price comic. Now this is Just Imagine the Flash, very obvious kind of Adam Hughes kind of appearance. But I'll be honest, I think the front cover actually looks better than the back cover on that particular book. It just has a lot more action going on. I mean, it's a very simplistic cover by Adam Hughes, but I do think I prefer the front cover better. But since it's going to go in my Adam Hughes box, I leave it, on the Adam Hughes cover. These are some newer books. Well, I'm just going to show you these since I have them out. These I got on New Comic Wednesday, Star Pig #1. Deceased, Great Tina cover #3. Ragnarok by Walt Simonson, IDW. This was one of the hot books that week. The Magnificent Miss Marvel #5, the homage to Secret Wars #8, where she gets her new costume that's symbiotes. It's kind of like Iron Spider almost, really. But it's it's got some heat. It's probably already a $20 book because Miss Marvel, Magnificent Miss Marvel is not a highly printed title, and so that kind of went bonkers on that day. I was lucky to find that actually. I had to go to a shop that I normally don't go to get that. These books here I got actually at the same shop that I got the Miss Marvel. I was surprised that they were still there. This run, if any of you guys are not reading it, it's a great story. It's Daredevil. Was this volume 7, I think? Number 1 and number 2, first appearance of Detective North. It's a good read, and I think really the art is good. The story is great. It's probably one of my favorite Daredevil storylines in a long time. I kind of go off and on Daredevil and collecting it, but this run here, if you're not on it, you should be reading it because I believe that this has the potential to be the next Immortal Hulk. Number 2 has a second print that's very rare that has Detective North on the cover. That is pretty expensive already. I think it's like a $20 to $30 book. So the second print of number 2 is a pretty hot comic still. And I got those for cover price, and I got this for cover price. The full variant of Power Rangers number 41. I think it's the first appearance of some kind of blue Power Ranger. I haven't read it yet. These are dollar books that I got. This is, again, I've had multiple copies of this. I've showed this before. Anytime I see it in high grade near mint, I pick it up. This is Justice League Europe number 33, first appearance of Sonic the Hedgehog in comics. And anytime I see this book, also in high grade, this is Adam Hughes cover, Justice League of America 34, or Justice League America 34. Of the cover run that he did, Adam Hughes, this is kind of the more iconic cover, typical of Adam Hughes. So when I see it, I pick it up. Picked up these, nothing special. I try to pick these up if I see these in high grade. The Millennium Edition from 2000, 2001 of DC Comics. They can go for some money. Adventure Comics 61, first appearance Starman. Fun Comics and Police Comics, first appearance of Plastic Man. There's 62 of these issues between those 2 years. I'm not even close to getting all of them. I probably have maybe a dozen of them. The Detective Comics 27, I think, is the most expensive one, and I think the Action Comics one, the first appearance of Superman. The next books I got, now these were cover price or higher at the same vendor that I got the dollar books from at that local con. This is Birds of Prey number 7, Art Germ. This was one of the books that they had priced more than $1. It was $4, so I thought that was a great deal. It's probably worth $4. This one here was actually $1, which I was surprised because this was $4, which doesn't go for as much as this one, which is Art Germ, Birds of Prey number 0. That's probably a $10 to $15 book, and these are all in near mint. This comic here was $2. And again, I don't understand why he priced them the way he did, other than the fact that he saw this was Art Germ, because Art Germ has his signature there. For some reason, Art Germ does not have his signature on this book, but this is Art Germ, and so maybe that's why this was still $1. And then Birds of Prey number 11, Art Germ. This was $2. And then Birds of Prey, number 12, with a signature on it, for $3. Now these both, they probably go for a little bit more than cover price, maybe $5 or $6, maybe a little higher. I think actually this one I had looked up, it goes for about $10 because of all the female characters on there. So for even $2 and $3 and $4, I thought they were worth it. I got these comics for $1. Also, they're in near mint. Some cover run by Brian Bolland, number 91. I have this one already, but for $1 I got it. Have some more somewhere too. They're not in order. I'll show them if I get to them. I got this here, Submariner Limited Series number 1, Michael Turner. Great comic cover. I picked this up because I thought I didn't have it in that Michael Turner run on Fantastic Four, his cover run, but it turns out I have it already. But for $1, this is the variant edition of All New Wolverine number 14, $4. Thor Annual number 11, first appearance of Eitri, for $1. This is in near mint condition. This tells really the history of how Mjolnir was created. This had some heat after the movie, where Peter Dinklage played that dwarf. But it's calmed down now, and it's probably still a $5 book. Now, here's my other Wonder Womans that I found for $1. This is Wonder Woman number 40. Which series was this? I don't know if this was New 52 or not. I don't think it was. This is David Finch run. This was the movie poster run. The homage to the 300 movie poster. This is probably a $10 book, for $1. That was a great deal, I thought. Oh shucks! Anytime I see this book in high grade, Wonder Woman 41. I think this is volume 3. So that's what that was, volume 3. That's number 40. The Joker homage covers. This book probably goes for about $15. This was a near mint. Yeah, this was a near mint. What did I grade this as? Yeah, I graded it as near mint. Then I got these comics here. He had a stack of these, and I picked the highest grade of them, and I got 3 of them for $1 each. Ultimate Spider-Man number 60. That's the first appearance of Carnage in the Ultimate Spider-World. This I got Green Lantern number 9. This is the first appearance of what's the dude's name? Michael Richards or Mark Richards. He's the new tattoo man. And so this is number 9. Now the variant cover 1 in 25 is the one where they have Batman with the Green Lantern ring. It's like Green Lantern Batman. And that book can go for some money. But this one here is the regular cover from 2006 that I think will spike in some value once the new Suicide movie 2 comes out, because I think the Tattooed Man is supposed to be rumored to be in that movie. So, for $1, if you see it, pick it up. Even now, that's probably a $5 to $10 book. Got this Aquaman number 2, New 52, first appearance of Trench King. Now that was funny, is this was $1, right? But then he had this one. I haven't bagged this in Mylar yet. Aquaman #1, and he had that for $3. Yeah, go figure. I got this Batman 363 first appearance of Nocturna. It looks really nice in the bag, right? And the Mylar presents well. When I saw it in the poly bag, I was like, yeah, I think this is near mint. But when I got it out and got it home, when you really take a close look, you know, it's got this kind of rub of some kind of ink or some kind of stamp that didn't quite go through on there. So I downgraded it to just fine. Other than that, this book is solid. You know, it's complete. The pages are white. It's no ticks in the spine. But, you know, when you're at these cons, you see these books in poly bags. The lighting is not that great. You bring it home and, yeah. But even for $1, that's still a good deal. Batman 363 Nocturne. I could see them doing something with her. And then the last books that I got are Batgirl Volume 3. I think I've shown some of these before. I'm trying to complete the James Jean run, cover run on Batgirl. And so this is 42, 46, 50, and then I love this cover, 53, Batgirl and the female Robin. Whoops. They were all in near mint condition, so I bought, you know, I picked them up for $1 a piece. And so that leaves me missing 3 issues. I actually did get 41, the first one, but when I brought it home, it wasn't in the grade that I want. It's still probably, you know, probably fine because there was too many spine ticks in it for me. Enough so I didn't think it deserved the Mylar showing off. So the guy, you know, I asked him if he had any Batgirls. It was one of the few comics they had that was not bagged and boarded, and so I said, yeah, I'll take them. So I just stuck them in my box and didn't really pay close attention to the grade, and brought it home. And, you know, to be honest, even for $1, I probably would not have bought it in that grade because they don't really go for anything. The only one that goes for any money is number 45, the Batgirl one, which where she's on the cover in her traditional Batgirl costume versus this Batgirl. But you know, I mean, for $1, you know, it's sometimes how it goes at conventions when there's a lot of people. So that's my haul. Appreciate everybody watching. I will post some more videos as I continue to bag and board. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out.